it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. Today I am going to be working on my July goals in my MakseLife planner. We'll be doing some reflections for the month of June, talking about how things went, and then we will jump in and get all of my goals set for the month ahead. This is my MakseLife folio with my quarterly companion notebooks inside. I'm gonna grab my annual notebook here and then my current quarterly companion notebook, which is this teal one. And again, we're just gonna get this all set up. So here are my June goals. We're gonna just start by running through this and checking in with how my goals went. And then we will also set up my reflections, take a look at my weekly actions. I'm gonna be making a couple of adjustments to my goal setting process for the month, or really the 2 months ahead. Nothing major. I'm not like leaving the system or anything like that. I'm just gonna tweak things a little bit because for me, I tend to think of summer, July, August as like one cohesive unit of time. And really, it's about 6 weeks or so of productive time while the kids are in camp, and then kind of 2 weeks of vacation before the back to school year, which does drag into September a little bit. For us, for this month, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna think about all of the things that I want to accomplish this summer, not just in the July timeframe, but really for the whole time that the kids are in camp. I'm gonna make my list. It's gonna be a little bit more ambitious than it would normally be for in a month, and then I'm going to kind of set some priorities within that list. And then when I get to August, I'm gonna just kind of transfer things over from July, taking off anything that was already accomplished, adding on things as needed, adjusting as needed, but I'm gonna kind of think of July and August as one unit of time rather than 2 separate months. That just kind of makes sense for the way I'm thinking about the summer and our summer schedule, which is quite different than our schedule for the rest of the year. But yeah, I'm just super excited for this summer. We have so much good stuff going on and so much stuff that I want to work on. So I just want to make sure that I'm thinking about the big picture, and I've already been brainstorming a ton of ideas. So we're going to just dive in. All right, so I'm gonna start by running through my goals here. I do feel like I did a good job staying on top of admin, and the master calendar is in much better shape. I did a really good job embracing a simplified planner. I skipped my weekly overview some weeks. I actually even skipped my weekly actions 1 or 2 times. I think 1 time in June and 1 time in May, and just kind of worked off my monthly goals. I've been really relying heavily on my monthly planner, my family organizer, and on my daily planner, just kind of like embracing this sort of simplified one. Our June was so incredibly busy. I'm not sure that I've ever had like such a busy month before. Just very much like the back to school. The end of the school year was very, very busy. The morning routine and wake up time, some days it was good, some days it was bad. It wasn't like, amazing, but working on it. The end of the school year, yeah, things are going great. This did not happen, and this is like one of my really big pending things. I think I'm gonna do that thing where I highlight the ones that like need to be in focus for the next month. So this is definitely being carried forward, and it's actually gonna be one of my top priorities in July. For work, I feel like I did good. I did 1 blog. I had some collabs that went really well. So really great stuff going on, both my freelance business and in my social media channels. The end of the school year stuff is going really well. And the end of this year stuff, there's gonna be some end of the year like PTA treasurer stuff that I need to take care of over the summer. That's also gonna be on my July list, but I got all the June stuff that I needed to do. And this stuff has all been taken care of. This shutters thing is a never-ending saga. Literally, like it's just every time we try and do something with this, it just gets more and more complicated. So that is going on this. Everything else is going well. We've made some progress. We've had to shuffle some things around. Unfortunately, we've had to postpone some of like the upgradey projects that we wanted to maybe do. Not the basement. The basement is still happening. It's actually going to be happening really soon, but we have a repair project that's going to be a bit expensive, so we've had to push back some of the other upgrade projects. And again, this shutters thing is just like a never-ending saga. Anyway, so this was my weekly actions from the first week here. We can just kind of scroll through, see what happened. We were still like catching up. This was still the school year. This was our last week of school. You can see things are gonna get a little messy here because not only was this like the end of the school year because we had all this stuff going on, but after Memorial Day weekend, we pretty much go to the beach almost every weekend. So then we're not even home on the weekends, which totally worth it. Love the beach, but it does take a couple of weeks to adjust to that new lifestyle and just like the new way our admin and projects that we usually would do on the weekend, like how to incorporate those into the weeks. And then that was especially challenging during the school year when things were still busy, so busy, and the kids had so much going on and still on the same schedule. Now it'll be a little bit easier with everyone in camp. And the baby is in camp full time now, which is a huge lifestyle change for me because this is actually the first time that I've had all 3 kids in some kind of full-time child care program. The camp day is a little bit shorter than the school day, but still I have like every day from pretty much like 9 to 3 with the house empty. I did not do weekly actions for this week that we're currently in. I just decided I was gonna kind of wrap up and just set my sights on the month ahead, and that's totally fine. So I didn't need to do that, and I didn't need that, and now we are on to the monthly reflections page. So let's do some reflections. So I am going to use my new mark-on pen. This is also a zebra pen. They sent me this as part of the summer box that I got from them for the collab that we did on Instagram, and this pen is like instant dry. You can highlight over it right away. When it comes to just like general writing, I do prefer the Sarasa Clip, which is my favorite pen, but this pen is really cool. So my biggest wins this month were just like a really nice end of the school year. I mean, I guess I'll put that in purple. I was just gonna say I could stripe that. It honestly touched on so many areas of lives. I guess I wouldn't have an end of the school year if I didn't have kids, so we can call that family. And you can see like how clean that looks. Okay, things that are currently working. I think like routines have been going really well. Planning is still going really well. Admin, that kind of stuff. Things that are not working, I feel like I've had some trouble prioritizing like what is more important versus what I feel like doing. My allergies have been extremely out of control. Not that I don't know that there's like necessarily anything I can do with that, but it's been super unpleasant. And then just like what I guess I'm just gonna call like dead time. I feel like a lot of things, part of the prioritization problem I'm having is a lot of things that I'm doing seem to be taking me like much longer than usual and much longer than they should. And I don't really have like a great explanation for that. But like yesterday I wanted to get to my goals yesterday, but I didn't because it took me so long to do like 3 other things that probably should have only taken 30 minutes, but instead took 2 hours. You know, just like that kind of stuff. So I don't really know where the rest of that time went. But that is certainly something I can think about. So what I learned this month. Maybe we'll just say busy is fun, but also a lot. I mean, last month was a lot, but it was also a really fun month. And that is just kind of what I'm vibing. I'm gonna look back. I think I gave myself a 9 in May. Yeah, I gave myself a 9 in May, and it's kind of where I'm leaning for June too. We've just had 2 really, really amazing months, which feels so good because if you have been around, you know that like March were really, really tough months for me, and I was really just like not emotionally and mental health wise feeling my best. So it's great that I feel very bounced back. And I know that some of that is like weather because the sun is shining, although it's actually been really rainy this week, which the garden and the lawn really needed, so that's fine. Okay, so what improvements or adjustments do I need to make going into the next month? I don't even want to focus on improvements or adjustments. I feel like this month marks a lifestyle change for me. At least it's a new chapter. This feels to me like a new chapter of parenthood. Maybe it's like a little sub-chapter change, whatever you want to call it. But this is the first time I've been a mom for 7.5 years, and this is the first time all 3 kids that I haven't had a kid home with me, at least part-time. So all 3 kids are now, from now until, you know, kind of to infinity and beyond, in full-time school / camp. So my kids go, the baby who is 3 and not a baby, she started camp full-time this summer. She will continue on with full-time school in the fall. And that really does feel like a big change. She went 3 days a week last year, so it's not like she was in nothing, but it definitely feels like a big change to me. Honestly, I'm just gonna write it here. I'm just gonna write, it's a whole new world. Like, apparently I'm in a Disney state of mind right now, which is hilarious because, as my kids would tell you, I don't really like Disney that much. I mean, I don't have like a problem with it, but I'm not like a big princess movie person. I like the Pixar stuff better, but I'm not like a really big princess movie person. I don't like our kids are allowed to watch them. I'm not like anti-princess. It's just not super my jam. Do a little bit of deco there. What am I most grateful for right now? Summertime, camp, the beach, all these good things. Habits I want to nurture, definitely the prioritization, creating new daily routines that work with that. And then down here for I want to focus on next month, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's the summer of me. Right now, for this summer, I do not plan to change my work schedule, pick up more projects than I usually would, etc. So I have some extra time, 2 extra days a week, basically, that I'm not like, I do work a little bit, but I am just gonna take this summer. I'm gonna accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, do what I want to do, and then I can assess in the fall what's gonna happen there. But I am just, this is my time, and I plan to fully enjoy it. I'm working on a lot of different projects and I want to devote time to them and stuff. So I definitely plan to do that. We've got the house stuff going on. We've got other stuff going on. I also planning to enjoy this lifestyle change. Guilt-free. All right. So these are all kind of fun things, family things, but we can kind of go like this. And when I say that my kids are in camp for the full summer, this is like they go to the East Coast style of day camp. So if you are not from the East Coast and you are not familiar, they stay in the same camp for the whole summer. It's an 8-week camp. All 3 of them are at the same camp. They have basically the day is divided into periods, like the similar like how you would in high school or whatever. Instead of like math, reading, science, and stuff, and that kind of stuff, they have like swim, basketball, arts and crafts, music, dance. I guess there's some overlap with school. It's a really great time. They have an absolute blast doing at camp, and we really enjoy it. I went to this style of camp, and actually my husband did as well. We are starting to look at some overnight camps for my oldest now. That won't be until like maybe next summer and beyond, but for right now, this is what's been going on. But for right now, everybody is in day camp and loving it. And I'm gonna give myself another 9 for the month. And those are my reflections. So I did also complete the quarterly refresh. I'm just gonna like briefly talk about this now. My completion of this and my goals refresh will be available in my monthly reset video. Really quick, just running through my quarterly assessment. Overall, my scores increased, and I'm actually just really proud of the past quarter. I realized while I was going back through this, I actually gave myself a 9 for April, May, and June. So this entire quarter, I gave myself a 9 at the end of every month in terms of reflections. And when I did my words here, I think this is maybe what I'm most proud of. The first word that jumped out at me is how I felt for over the last 90 days was happy. And I just think that that's really just a really incredible way to feel. So I'm feeling really good. Again, I had just mostly slight improvements. Personal, I went down just a little bit, but everything else was pretty much either the same or a slight improvement. I also said I felt busy, excited. I just listed out a bunch of things that were going well and making me happy right now. None of that should be kind of stuff around the end of year fun we've had and all the busy days and summer and all of that. And then for my biggest opportunity for growth, what life area will be my focus? Again, we're just going with welcome to the summer of me. I did like a very modest refresh of my goals. I didn't change any of my goals, but I picked out a couple of things to be working on. That time management, the 10-year anniversary trip in the fun category, rest and enjoying the summer for work, and then in September we'll circle back and start thinking more long term. And then for our physical environment, the basement, it's the basement's time to shine, and there's a lot of stuff that I need to get done in order to facilitate that. So it's just, you know, focusing on those house projects. And that is the refresh. So with that, I'm gonna grab a new companion notebook and we can jump into my July goals. All right, so I'm ready to dive in for July, and I've got my next quarterly companion notebook out. It says, trust the timing of your life, which means I'm gonna save good things take time, which is the last companion notebook. I'll save that one for the end of the year. These are all undated, so you can choose your own order. Yes, you could pick based on whatever you want and do nothing. I like to pick based on the saying. So last year they said just begin. This one says just begin again and again. And that's always my first one of the year. And then I did your only limit is your mind for the next one. This one is really just calling to me right now. I like to be a little bit thoughtful about it. I'm not like a huge quote person, but I do like some of the Moxieisms as I've come to think of them. And I particularly like when they just like feel relevant to my life. And this one is feeling really relevant to my life. I just spent a while talking about how I feel like I'm in a new season of life, or entering a new season of life right now. So I'm gonna go with trust the timing of your life. All right, so I've got my annual goals here. I've got my June goals and my refresh so that I can take a look if I needed, and we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna grab my stickers. I've got a bunch of Simply Gilded washi that I've been waiting to put away, and I'm gonna grab one of these rolls and do the washi on the top. And I'm gonna use this one, this beach roll. This is the washi, I said this when I hauled it, but this is the washi that I feel like most looks like the beach that we go to of any like beach themed sticker or washi that I've ever seen. It's just, our beach has dunes. They kind of look like this. I don't know. This to me, looks very Atlantic. It just, this washi roll in particularly really reminds me of our beach, which I like, and I am destroying this paper. All right, well, I guess we're going with a little bit uneven washi because otherwise it's just ripping up the paper, and that's no good. So that's what we're gonna do there. I'm gonna cut this down. All right, so I have no idea what happened with that. I've like literally never had that happen before, where it just, washi was just tearing up the page so bad like that. So it's July. Last month in June, I put the word in the middle, but it kept peeling up. So I don't think I want to do that. I do kind of like to have it on both sides of the page, but I think I'm going to use this one, which is the brush font from Kylie Designs. And I'm going to put it here. Just because it's gonna cover up some of the page damage a little bit better. And then I am going to pre-date and week count all of my weeks. I really liked having that done last month, and that has been a revelation. Because I've been doing that in my Laurel Denise, and then I started doing that in my MakseLife last month, and I really like that. We're starting with week 27. I'm gonna do 4 weeks. The last week of July starts on the 31st, so I think that'll probably be in August. If I need to move that one, I will, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go through and date them all and then put the week numbers in, which these stickers are also from Kylie Designs. This is the Dreamer font. This is my favorite font that she offers in her shop. I just really like it. It's very dainty and pretty. And these stickers, they're matching ones that say week 30, and then also that have like the actual dates. So the week ones, I have a lot of extras of these because I've got so many sheets of them, which is fine for these, like the week number ones, but for these, which have the actual dates, these are not gonna be like valid to use next year. Or at least they won't be Monday start anymore. They'll still have 7 consecutive days of time on them. They just won't be Monday start anymore. And she had these in Monday start and Sunday start. And I love these. This was like a $2 Tuesday, I think, at the beginning of the year. that'll be the last time we look at the weeks in this video. I just wanted to get them all set up since I've been doing that. Now we can go back to July and jump in. All right, as I mentioned, we're gonna be doing things a little bit different this month since I'm, also thinking about at least the first couple of weeks of August while I'm doing this. But I'm also going to think about priorities, and we're gonna move from area to area rather than going one area at a time, because we're gonna go by priorities. So the first thing that is on my mind is the basement. My number one and number two priorities for this month are the basement and the vacation planning. So that's where we're gonna start. Work is gonna start on the basement when work starts on the basement. I'm not gonna put that in there, what I need to do is all of the things that need to be set up and taken care of before work can start. So one is to finish cleaning out the basement. As part of that, I also need to clear and organize some of the upstairs storage spaces, particularly some of the closets and things like that where we've got a bunch of kids stuff to make more space, and also just because they're out of control. There is a growing pile of donation items that need to be handled. We've already gotten rid of the large items. We recycled an old fridge that we had never even used. It was just left over from the people who lived here before us. We got rid of our washer dryer and some other large things. Our garage cleanup is done. Shout out to my husband on that one. But now, it's time to keep going because they're going to start construction in the next couple of weeks, and it needs to be cleared out before then. And then the last thing is just any follow-ups, decisions, etc. So that is the number one priority, as I said, getting the basement stuff done. The number two priority, so I'm gonna put this in a flag too, because these are the things that really need to happen. And this is the 10-year trip planning. This trip will be in August, if I can make it happen, but I have not made it happen yet. So kind of break that into two little parts there. We gotta get a few ideas together, which I have the ideas, but gotta formalize them, run some numbers around the ideas, and then just book it. All right, that is the number one and number two main priorities for this month. Then I'm gonna swing over to spiritual and personal growth. And I'll do a box for this one instead of a flag. Those are 1 and 2, absolutely top priorities. Next, after that, is all of the PTA finance stuff. This, honestly, I guess I could have flagged this one too, because this stuff has to happen also. It's just not quite as time sensitive. It just needs to happen before the end of the school year. Before the beginning of the school year. So this one is the bank account rollover and credit cards and stuff like that. So just the transferring. I'm staying on as treasurer, but my co-treasurer is departing. And so we gotta get all of the stuff transferred over. We also have to help the fourth grade reps get their stuff all fixed up and transferred over and everything as well. 2, our PTA is a 501c organization, and we have to file our taxes for the year, and I will also be doing that. I also am supposed to look at some other kind of tax paperwork that we're thinking about doing. So that, and then I also need to close out all of our budget stuff for this year and make a draft of the preliminary budget for next year. And I kind of feel like there's something I'm still forgetting there. So I'm just gonna think about that one for a second here. A lot of PTA stuff going on over the summer. I think those are kind of the top 3 big projects that I've got going on. So I don't think other than that, there's nothing else so super concrete. I do plan to start some back to school stuff in July just because I want to be able to film more of it than I was able to last year, because I know a lot of people have back to school in August, and we don't have back to school until after Labor Day, so not until September, but that is not necessarily conducive to social media filming, so I might like do some of the school supply stuff a bit early. So that's gonna definitely be in here. I'm gonna swing down to this. And right now we're just kind of in the brainstorming phase of that. And then later, as we get later into the summer, we will progress. Although by the time this video is up, my first back to school video, which was just a preview of the Erin Condren back to school line, will already be up. So it's already on my mind. I actually just bought a back to school sticker kit today too. Okay, so I'm gonna put here, I'm gonna be like brainstorm, supplies, and organization, because I am working on organizing like all of the kids' stuff as part of this basement stuff. And then maybe what I'll do is a little loopy arrow here, and I'll just make a little back to school content thing. Yeah, and if you have anything that you want to see, definitely let me know. Then the other thing that I want to put in here, and this one is like a habit more than a project, but it's a really high priority habit / project for the year, and that is reading with the kids and making sure my kids are practicing reading and school skills, you know, just try and minimize that summer slide. All right, and actually if you are also a parent to like late preschool, early elementary students, and you have recommendations for like good iPad or video games that are educational, we are happily taking those recommendations, and if it's a good enough game, we don't mind purchasing something. It doesn't have to be like a free thing. And then the last thing I think I'm gonna just put in here is just to enjoy. Just want to enjoy our summer. Enjoy time with family, enjoy time with friends. We had a really nice cousin visit this past weekend, and I've got plans with one of my friends coming up. I've spoke about this before, but I am going to see the Barbie movie with one of my childhood best friends, and we hang out a lot in the summer because she goes to the same beach as we do, and she was like my top tier Barbie playing friend as a child, so we thought we would go see the Barbie movie together. So then I am gonna put a couple of things here. One, just that beach life reminder to enjoy. Then anytime that there's like downtime, days off from camp, whatever, we want to make sure we've got plans. And then the other thing is, again, on this schedule, making sure that I am enjoying my summer of me, you know, some fun solo stuff for me, some things that I just want to do for myself. I feel like this makes it look like the beach life is a header. Not though, but that's fine. All right, I think that rounds out that area. I think maybe I'll swing back over and just finish out these other areas as well here. So we've got some like other project stuff outside the basement. Oh, you know what? I've got this new stencil from Christiane Designs. Here it is. It's got all these different lines on it. So let's use a fancy dotted line. So one, habit, the garden, and it's going really well so far. So hopefully it stays that way. The daily clean. I think it's just gonna be like try and control the chaos. We use the basement for storage right now, so there is going to be a little bit of like chaos while we're not able to have storage stuff in there, but that will even out. It's not like we're going to have no storage. Once the basement is finished, it will be less storage than we have now, but it won't be no storage. I'm going to use this one here because these checks are a little bit smaller. I put an extra check mark there, and I have no idea where my whiteout is. Oh, and then the last thing that I do want to put is the one that I was trying to think of is, even though we have to like pause with the shutters and figure that out, we're gonna pull down the rest of the shutters that are currently hanging because they're all super broken, which is why we want new ones anyways. And there's only like some of them left, but we're gonna take them down. That way it'll at least look consistent, even if it's not looking peak. So just kind of spiritual and personal growth. We've got my kind of usual summer mantra, which is it's okay to walk away. Maybe I'll just write that. I love our summertime and we have so much fun family time, but it's family and, you know, sometimes that's amazing and sometimes it's really hard to break out of historic patterns of behavior, old arguments, silly tensions, you know, things like that. So I always just say, in the past couple of years, I feel like honestly, actually probably even in the past 2 years, maybe, some MakseLife influence in there. I've done a lot better at this, and like just walking away and not having the same argument again and again has been like really, really amazing for my relationships with my extended family. So that is great. As we try and kind of tell our kids and teach our kids, like you can't change what other people are gonna do. You can only change how you react to it. Financial stuff, I don't really have like anything going on. Just our regular checks here. Oh, I want to add one more thing in here. We're looking at some new activities for the kids, new extracurriculars and stuff in the new year. So I just want to put that on the list as well for under the back to school stuff. Okay. I don't have anything else, like I said, finances wise, so that's fine. That can be nice and light. I guess I can put in, we got the basement and other kind of a big month spending wise for house stuff, although July is the only month that we don't make a childcare payment, so pluses and minuses, because we have to pay for camp. Camp is not on a payment plan. Camp we just pay for all at once, so we paid for camp at the beginning of June when that was due, and then there's no school payment in July, and then school payments resume I think in August, so even though they don't go back until September. So July is the only month of the year without like a school payment. Then in health and wellness, there we go, outside and active time. Some exercise classes. It used to be something I really enjoyed. I don't like prioritize it at all anymore, but again, as part of my summer of me and schedule change, can maybe work some of that in. I also want to make sure I'm prioritizing my dental routine, which I just got back from the dentist and I've gotten some not fantastic news. If you've been with me a while, you know, I have a lot of problems with my teeth. It's okay. It's like stuff I knew was coming, but probably in the next year or so, I'm gonna have to have like some more major dental work done. And then I think that's it. We don't have any like, everybody just had their well checks, everybody just had their dental appointments, everybody just had their everything. So I don't really think I've got anything like that going on. So I think we're good with just kind of that. Oh, I guess sleep. I'm gonna move the morning, not like the whole morning times routines, but just like the wake up part. Just gonna put that here. I usually put that in personal category, but I feel like it's so tied to the sleep. Like whether I got enough sleep, whether I feel like I slept well, is pretty much predicts whether I, you know, make it out of bed when I say I'm gonna get out of bed or not. Okay. Then we've got our last two, personal and work and learning. So for my freelance business, the only thing I really want to do here is I don't have any like big projects. I have like a smaller consulting project that I've been consulting on. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I'm not the main consultant on this project. I'm just like advising another consultant, if that makes sense. And then that's nice because that's pretty low key and just like, you know, a little bit of extra work and money. I just want to say keep writing, because I had to pause like all of my writing while I was working on this mega project, and then that was like a little bit slow to restart, but now it's going well and I have like a bunch of ideas and stuff. So I'm just gonna say keep writing. And I'm not going to give myself like a set number of posts or anything like that. We'll just see what works and what feels good. And that's really like the only thing I have freelance wise. So I think I'm going to like dot myself off there. And then the rest is going to be, content related. All right. So then I'll kind of make that as a own little thing. And then for other content, we're just gonna say like, just kind of like keep going with some of the newer stuff I've been doing, keep enjoying it, all that kind of good thing. I think it's just gonna be like the last one is gonna be more habity, not necessarily habit, but like just we're still working on, still struggling a little bit with the editing and just some of the less fun parts of the creation. Okay, and then up on personal, I'm gonna say adjust to the new routines. You know, we got a completely different schedule, and honestly, like it's only gonna last these 7 weeks or whatever, and then it's gonna go back to change to something else. But we've got our summer routines to adjust to, new morning time stuff. All the kids are in the same camp, so it's only one drop up and pick off, which is really nice, but everything is like the camp day is shorter than the school day, so we're just kind of adjusting with that wiggle room. Planning routines, and then I'm just gonna call it like, I'm just gonna say limit stretching downtime, because that's what I feel like. Again, like same, I was just folding laundry and I was like, okay, this will take like 15 minutes, but it took 30 minutes because I was watching something, and like that's fine, but you know, those little things start to add up and add up and add up over the course of the day, and it's not like it's not the best way to manage time. And another thing I'm gonna say is prioritize need over want. I think that's like kind of a good way to sum up how sometimes I, you know, get the fun like projects that are important to me more done when stuff that I should have already gotten done, like, you know, procrastinating certain things while still productive procrastination is how I like, is kind of how it is. It's, you know, I'm getting something done, but I'm skipping over something. I'm not like sitting idly, I'm just getting something done that doesn't necessarily need to get done. Which is especially tough for me when like the house projects are the priority, because I love like reorganizing things in the home, and I sometimes use that to avoid doing other things. But that's probably good that I have this basement thing. Although I like do not love being in the basement. I think it's gross down there. It's like objectively for an unfinished basement, not that gross, but I just, you know, I get a little, so I usually have to like set a timer and force myself to be down there. But once it's done, and then it'll be all finished up, and then it'll just be really nice and I won't have to do that anymore. Okay, so I guess maybe we'll do some focuses. I'm gonna put the colors in and then I will say the focuses. Okay, so I think here we'll just say like new routines. Then here, I'm gonna put the trip planning. Overall summer of me, but part of the summer of me culminates in this big 10-year anniversary trip where we've already lined up childcare, and it's so hard to get childcare for 3 kids. So we've already lined up like family to watch all of our kids for a vacation. Now we just like, let's not waste it. Let's go away. I'm really looking forward to that. I have not been away, just me and my husband, for more than like a night to go to a wedding since before the kids were born. And again, we've been parents for 7.5 years. I'm gonna put summer slow here. I'm still working, but I don't wanna, you know what? I'm not planning to go too hard. Say usual stuff for financial, which is one that I use pretty frequently in that category. So yeah, just keep on keeping on. And then here we've got the basement. And that is the last of my focus areas. So those are my July goals all set, and that is it for this video. So thank you so much for watching. I am all ready for July. I am all ready for my summer of me. I am feeling so happy and so excited. Let me know something you're looking forward to this summer down in the comments below. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe if you haven't already, and you can also check me out on Instagram and TikTok at MyCraftyPlans for even more planner and summer fun. Bye!